There are a lot of great accessories out there to help you get the most out of your Nintendo Switch, but when you start to tally up a full list of all the stuff you want to grab, at least for me, sometimes that total cost gets a little high. So it's important to be aware what options you have out there that sometimes aren't going to break the bank. So we're going to take a look at 10 great Nintendo Switch accessories that are under $10 each. Kicking things off, let's talk about some products to help protect your Switch and Switch-related accessories with this anti-scratch case for your Switch. Now, this is a cosmetically protective case. This is not going to be one that helps with any kind of major trauma if you drop the Switch in like that. If you want a more protective case like that, it's going to cost you more money. But at the under $10, you can at least get a case like this that's going to help protect your Switch from any kind of cosmetic damage, like scratching, light things, that kind of stuff. And honestly, this one actually looks really nice. It's still giving you access to all the ports, everything you need. Kickstand's still usable if your kickstand doesn't suck like mine does. And I actually really like the way the aluminum finish comes off on this one. I really like the color red, so just the look of the Joy-Cons on the front and the back of the Switch itself, I think it comes together really nicely. Next up is a classic accessory we've talked a couple times about, and that's a hybrid cover for your Switch. Now, there are a lot of these out on the market. You can find a lot of them from bigger name companies that are gonna cost you more money, like 15, 20, maybe even as high as 25, and oftentimes the main benefits those are giving you is it looks prettier. There might be some kind of design on it, might be made out of a nicer material, but oftentimes those aren't actually adding any real additional protection. With this guy, for $10, you're getting the same exact kind of coverage and functionality. You have a way of setting up your Switch for tabletop mode that doesn't use the kickstand, which is always a plus in my book. It's gonna give a little protection to the main Switch body itself, and it's gonna help protect your screen whenever you're on the go by just folding it over like this. Now let's get a little wackier out there, because there are some Nintendo Switch games where, you know, having a special kind of peripheral for your Joy-Con to fit into just makes it a lot better, especially with the more motion-based ones. And so why not get a pair of tennis rackets? Look, there's not a lot to go in depth on these guys. It's a tennis racket that your Joy-Con fits into. So when you're playing Mario Tennis, you're actually kind of playing tennis, although I find that I'm really bad at real tennis, so I probably shouldn't think that way. Point is, these are fun. Awesome little pickup to get for kids, and if you're a big fan of Mario Tennis, this is just gonna give you a little more real interactivity with it. Then we have this silicone protective case for the Switch Pro controller. Now the benefit of this is kind of like what we had with the aluminum case on the Switch, where it's gonna help protect some cosmetic damage, but really the bigger benefit of a grip like this for the controller is that it's just gonna make it a little more comfortable and a lot more usable for really long-term play. Because one of the issues that can happen with controller plastic is as you play longer and longer, your hands just get a little sweaty and your grip isn't quite as good as it could be. So with a silicone cover like this, it's gonna make sure that you can play for a long period of time with your Pro controller and not have any issues with comfort. Bundled with this, you're also gonna get some thumbstick grips, which are not the best ones on the market. I mean, they're not control freak by any means, but considering this whole bundle together is $10, if you just want a little extra traction with those sticks, they get the job done just fine. Next, let's talk a bunch of storage options, starting with a carrying case for the Switch. Now, this is probably one of the most popular accessories out there. There are so many different carrying cases out there you can choose from. They give you a way to not only transport the Switch, but additional accessories, Joy-Cons, and oftentimes they feature some kind of design. And they can get up there in price, or you can just save as much money possible and get the most basic option out there. This is under $10 and it does all the simplest things you need it to. It has a place to hold the Switch down, you've got little straps to keep it in place, you have little slots to put your game cards, and then the usual little kind of pouch area just to have any additional cables, maybe some Joy-Cons and maybe the AC adapter, but then it kind of stretches a little bit. It's just gonna do all the same basic stuff. There are definitely better case options out there that are going to look better or give a little more protection and strength, but if you're just looking to save money and something's going to do the basic function, this gets the job done. Now, if you're not looking for a way to carry your entire Switch, you just want to be able to carry a couple games, you have somewhere else you store your Switch, there are a lot of different game cartridges you get out there. Now, this one is a little limited compared to some options out there. It only carries 6 games, but it's not only cheap, but actually kind of cool. It's a Zelda design that features Link on one side, Zelda symbol on the other, and while it carries 6 games, the way it does it is you hit this little button, and bam, just a little slot to have 6 games, 3 on top, 3 on bottom. It's a little annoying to close. It's not like a lock in place, you just have to close the door on it, but if you just want an easy way to carry a small handful of games that also looks pretty cool, this is an awesome choice. Now, on the other hand, if you don't care about having something that's gonna be pretty, you just want the most function for the lowest dollar possible, another option for game card cases is this little guy right here. This is from Yes Ojo, the same people that make that portable projector dock for the Switch, and this is as basic as it gets. You just open it up right here, folds out, and you can hold 11 Switch carts, which kind of when you close together almost act like teeth and just fill this entire space right here. It's a pretty efficient way of carrying a large number of games. It's not the prettiest, it's not gonna be exactly something that's, you know, stylistic, but if you just want to spend a little bit of money to get a way to carry around a lot of games, this works great. Now this next item is the cheapest on this list and honestly kind of stretches our definition a little bit about the best items under $10, but I saw this and just thought it was ridiculous enough that I really want to talk about it. And it actually does work better than I was originally giving it credit for. See these little bands on the Switch? So these are Nyko dock bands, and the only thing they really do is you put them on the side of your Switch, and it adds just a little extra space to the front and back, so when you're putting it in the dock, you're running less of a risk of actually scratching your screen. That's it. I mean, they're really simple. It actually slots on pretty comfortably onto the Switch, and it still leaves a gap so you can still attach and remove Joy-Cons as you wish. It's a very simple fix. There are a lot of other ones out there you can get, like dock sleeves and such, but those are going to run more money. For a cheap option that's pretty low impact, it's actually kind of neat. Let's talk about some accessories that you can use with your Joy-Con, starting with these silicone grip cases. Now, these are very similar to the grip case we were talking about for the Pro Controller earlier, where it adds that kind of material that's just a lot better if you're playing for a long period of time and you start sweating the hands a little bit. But for Joy-Con specifically, one of the other upsides to these is it actually changes the shape of the Joy-Con a little bit to make it a lot more comfortable. So it actually adds a little bit more of a palm grip that's a lot better than just the flat shape of the Joy-Con. Plus, the way these ones are designed, it leaves the opening for the rail still available, so you can use them free like this or still attached to the Switch. The only thing with these is that it does take a little bit of work to really kind of put them on properly and line everything up to look pretty, which, to be honest, this still isn't the best final execution, but the idea is there. We have a new entry in the ongoing saga of all the different kinds of Joy-Con grips that are out there, and this one is a new personal favorite. So this is going to add a couple things that not all of them usually come with. You are getting a wrist strap that you can use in order to keep it safely secured to your arm. I don't always use these, but in the case of like kids that are playing, these are really nice to have on hand. And I actually really like the way the shoulder buttons worked out on this. So sometimes the buttons that are designed here use kind of a lever system, and it doesn't always feel, well, natural. This is just a straight up button that you press down on and it hits the button down below. Feels really nice and still gives it that same kind of almost clickiness that you get when you hit the button directly. All these accessories are linked down below in descriptions. If you want to check any of them out, just go there. And if you have any accessories that you love that you grabbed for under $10, let us know down below in the comments, and I will see you guys later.